Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Intercultural Communication between China and Europe webinar. My name is Vitor Costa. I am representing the Portugal-China Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And I would like to start by thank you all for your presence. We are really glad to see so many registrations, so many participants. It's a sign that this subject should be of your interest, should be useful. Also, a big thank you to our cooperation partners, the EUSME Center and the EUROChambre. I think this should be our third event. The other were a success. This for me already is. So thank you. So a quick word about the chamber I am representing. Despite these troubled times we're living in, we are working almost as usual. So if you have any kind of question, you need any kind of support, please do contact us. We are here to help. And regarding this webinar format, this will be a kind of interactive webinar. So if you have any questions, you should leave them on the Q&A window. You should have that button below your screen. Please don't be shy, participate. Our expert, Antonio, which will be introduced in a minute, he will try to reply as we go along. He will also have some sort of exercises to do with you. So you should use the chat room to do that. As I said, please don't be shy, participate. And I hope you enjoy this time with us. I hope you can take what you're looking for. And now I am giving the screen to my colleague, Laura Velasco from the EUSME Center. Thank you. Please enjoy.
Thank you very much, Vitor. Welcome everybody to this webinar we're organizing. My name is Laura Velasco, and I represent the EUSME Center in this event. For those who have never heard about the EUSME Center, I would like to spend a few minutes explaining you who we are, what we do, and most importantly, how you could benefit from the services we offer here in Europe. After that, I will introduce Antonio, our speaker, and we can start the training. Very briefly about the EUSME Center, we are an EU-funded project that started in 2010 with the main goal of helping European SMEs entering the Chinese market. We are currently on the third phase of the project, running until March 2022. And what we do is offering trainings, information, advice, and supporting services to those companies who want either to enter the Chinese market or to do business with the Chinese market. We are implemented by 5 different chambers of commerce and business organizations. You could see all of them at the bottom of this slide. And we are an official member of EEN Network, which allows us to cooperate with a lot of partners around Europe. And we also work with a lot of government agencies and business support organizations to bring those trainings to those SMEs that are interested in China. Our office is located in Beijing, in Sanlitun, although I'm based in Europe, in Brussels. We are receiving some questions. Yes, okay. I was going to explain this afterwards, but you could actually bring questions along the webinar. Antonio is going to be replying to them as soon as they go. If some of them fit within his presentation, he will be perhaps mentioning that he will refer to them later, but do not worry, because we will be replying to all your questions around the way. And also, yes, this webinar is recorded and we will be sharing it later on for those 2 questions we have just received. Very briefly about our services, we focus on 4 main services, which are the ones you could see in the screen. The first one is the Knowledge Center. So we have around 200 market reports published on our website based on different markets and different industries of the interest of European companies trying to enter China. One of the things that I find most important is what is called the starter kit, which is a pack of 4 different reports that talk about the basics of doing business with China. All of this information is free on our website. The only thing you need to do is to register to access all of these market reports and also our starter kit. Here in this section of the Knowledge Center, you also have access to our legal database with information about updated regulations on foreign investment, cross-border training, tax, etc. The second of our services is the Advice Center. Any question you might have about the Chinese market, any question you might have about, for instance, import duties, applicable VAT, any restriction on the industry, you can actually bring it to our expert who will reply to you within a few working days. How to do this? You can log in into our website. And once you are registered, here, for instance, in this screen, nobody is registered or logged in, but you can click into the Ask the Expert section and you will find an interface similar to this one. You choose your area of expertise or whichever is among these ones, and you submit your question by hitting submit. You will receive the answer by email, as I believe right now we are between 3 to 4 working days. The third service we offer is training. Trainings as the ones we are doing right now. Under normal circumstances, we usually offer online and offline trainings. Unfortunately, due to the COVID now, we are mostly focused on online trainings. But one of the advantages is that we can reach to more people than the offline situation. So we try to be optimistic and try to get the best of it. Trainings are tailor-made to the needs of our partners. In this case, Victor and the community of companies affiliated to the China-Portugal Chamber of Commerce were interested in this training, and that's why we have organized it. But of course, we are open to other topics and industries. We also have a last service called Advocacy Platform, where we give voice to the thoughts and the wills of the European companies, both interested in entering China and operating in there. We have an interchamber SME working group that also provides up-to-date information on the regulatory environment and also on any economic and social changes that are happening in China. These are some of the partners we cooperate with in Europe. If anybody from the audience is a business support organization, are interested in cooperating with us to organize similar trainings as the one we are doing right now, feel free to contact us. We will be happy to further cooperate. Here, this slides shows the achievements we reached at the end of phase 2, which ended in April last year. We had, as I mentioned before, almost 200 publications with over 100,000 downloads. We have answered to almost 5,000 inquiries through Ask the Expert section, and we have recorded almost 200 webinars as well. A little bit of our upcoming activities. After this workshop, we have another workshop the 27th of January on food and beverage and opportunities in the southwest of China. These will be held online and offline. If you are interested, you can register. All of these trainings are for free. We are also holding a webinar on Chinese standards and compliance for exports. And at the end of February, we are organizing a workshop on green construction in China. Also, at the beginning of March, we are preparing a workshop on blockchain technology in China. Final date to be confirmed, and final details will be published on our website and also will be included on our newsletter. And I'm done with my presentation. Now, I'm going to stop sharing the screen so that Antonio can start with his presentation. In the meantime, I'm going to give you a brief introduction of Antonio and why he's here today talking about this topic. Antonio was born in Beijing few years ago, and he was raised in Spain, in Valencia, to be precise. So when we were thinking about who could be a good expert to talk about cultural differences, we thought that Antonio, who has actually lived and experienced those cultural differences since he was a kid, was the perfect candidate for this presentation. Antonio, in his professional life, he's a trainer. He trains companies in Spain and in Europe, even companies that belongs to IBEX 35, if people from Spain are listening to us, operating in the automotive, aeronautical, or oil sector. He has been invited as a professor in different universities and masters, and he has cooperated in the past with the EUSME Center, and of course he will be continue cooperating with us. So with no further ado, Antonio, I leave the floor to you. I close my camera as well because I want people to focus on you. And thank you again, everybody, to participate in this workshop.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Hello, everyone. So it's 12 to 10, sorry, 10, 12. So let's start with today's agenda. We're going to see some topics with China and Europe. Communication, focusing communication with China beyond the language. If you are familiar with the cultural dimensions, we are going to talk about the high context and low context. Some Chinese cultural dimensions, which is collectivism, particularism, and power distance, which is hierarchy. Many other millennial values apply to the modern world beyond Confucius, and the Chinese mindset. We're going to decode the Chinese mindset, talking about mianzi and guanxi. So some ground rules. You have noticed English is not my mother tongue, so sorry about that. Maybe I will jump out with some Spanglish or even Portuñol. So sorry for that. Also sorry about the death by PowerPoint. I have to put a lot of text on the slides so you can read and listen at the same time. And please be active and participate via the chat or the question and answers, okay? And also please find your own aha moments. Aha moments is when you listen to someone and say, aha, that's what happened to me last year when negotiation, talking about or talk with the Chinese guy. So please find your aha moments. And the last point, please enjoy this edutainment, okay? So first question for you, you can use the Q&A board or via chat, is what is easier for you. What is intercultural communication for you? So I will read all the answers here. So anyone from the panelist participants, I will see here the, okay. So who wants to start answering this question? Thank you, thank you. Understand what's behind the words, okay? Different values, ideas, correct? What else? Act with people of other countries, communication between different cultures, different values. Is communication between one or more person from different country is a question, okay? Open communication, thank you, Stefan. Communication, okay. Effective understanding of ideas among different backgrounds, correct? So I'm still reading some interesting answers. Mutual understanding of different cultures, show patience in a business context. Great, a lot of right answers. Expectations, I love this. So everything you said is more or less related and is okay. for me, is the verbal and non-verbal interaction between people from different cultural backgrounds, not only countries, so people from different cultural backgrounds. Okay, so very well, thank you for being so active. And take a look at this picture. One is saying 9, the other one saying 6. What happens here? Again, via chat. So how could we make the 6th person to see the 9 part? Or again, what can we do to make the 9 guy to see the 6th part? Put the other person's shoes. Correct. Thank you, Antonio. Perspective, okay, matters a lot. Yes. Seeing from the other person's point of view, empathy, communicate. That's the point. Different in, okay, so it's again the same answer. Let him see the number from different point of view. Correct. This is easy one. It's maybe when we interact with other people because of it's like for example when I'm talking to someone from Portugal, maybe we are closer, or even Asians, we talk together. You know, it's easier to see the 6 and 9. But what happened to this one? One is in 4 and the other one's in 3. So it's more complicated. All the answers is right, but sometimes it's more difficult than the ones to see the huge differences, to see all the different point of view. And that is the example when we Europeans or Spaniards communicate, when we communicate with the Chinese part. Sometimes it's hard to see the 3 or the 4 between them. So what is intercultural communication for? The third question. So maybe you answer that with the previous question. Tolerance, thank you. Bring prosperity, understanding. And again, better understanding, yes. And that is, all the answer is correct, is to improve your intercultural competence with intercultural trainings. So let's go to the intercultural competence. You have the 3 points: attitudes, knowledge, and abilities. Attitude, open-minded, the first thing. Curiosity, the second. About the knowledge, you have to have some knowledge about the country specific, in this case China. Know their values, the cultural dimensions. Abilities, you have to listen and read between lines and make some adaptation to the culture. So this is what we're going to do and decode during this workshop. So again, another question for you. What do you see, a duck or a rabbit? You can put A or B, it's easier for you. A, B, A, B, B, A. I see both actually, correct? Both. Okay, people say both are great. Thank you, thank you. Let me show you the next part of this. You see? 2 bands with the same logo, which is a duck and rabbit at the same time. And there cannot be peace until they renounce their rabbit god and accept our duck god. And that happens every day. Daily living, working with different cultures. So we are talking the same thing, but from the different points of view. So let's start with the first part of the workshop. That was an introduction. So we're going to see the communication with China beyond language, high context, and low context. I saw a lot of Chinese last name in the chat. So I suppose most of you speak some word of Chinese, or you are native, or you have you hold like HSK, we call it the 汉语水平考试, which has 9 grades now, so 9 levels. So and also you have a lot of APP or even WeChat. You can translate all the messages from Chinese to English or Chinese to other languages. And that is great because you can communicate more effectively, more efficiently with the Chinese. But there's something behind the language and you cannot control. You have to read between lines and understand the mindset, understand what the Chinese part is talking about. So that is the screenshot of my Twitter. By the way, you can follow me with Antonio Liu Yang. This is a tweet 2 months ago. And he said, the danger of translate literally nali nali. Okay, Chinese part of the participants. How can you explain nali nali in English? This is also a screenshot of the book I'm reading. Over where? Yeah, is okay, but it's correct. Where is the nali nali is to where and where, but in this context you can read. So when Nixon shook Madame Mao's hand, he claimed, Madame Mao, you are very beautiful, and she replies, nali nali. Nali nali, you are threatening me, okay, don't need mention. It's nothing, yes. It's more or less, in Spanish we will say, no hay de qué, que va, it's just more like, you are too kind. That's the point, you are too kind. But see what happened if you translate the too literal, the words nali nali comes out where, and it makes no sense in this context. So again, I'm going to use a lot of this book, this little red book from Liu Yang. It's a German Chinese designer with differences she think about Europe and China. The blue part is Europe, focus in Germany, and the red part is China or Asia, focus in China. So, okay, I'm just reading another answer from the chat. So, what do you see here? Okay, you can read opinion and 意见, which is more or less opinion. So, what happens here? So the blue part, how do we communicate in Europe? Anyone from the chat or, okay. Direct, okay. So linear, direct, straightforward, yeah, okay. Straightforward, yes. Can you put a real example in your daily living or in your daily working day? Efficient, that's right. You see efficient, correct. Boring. I like these two words, efficient and boring. You are seeing, depends on which side you are seeing this, maybe boring or maybe it's efficient is the other word, okay. Chinese may consider this too direct and not polite, and that's right. We are talking perceptions. And how about the red part? You come from the blue part, and you are listening or reading people from the red part. Ambiguous, circular, okay. Text. I'm losing. Takes too much and confusing. elaborate, never say no. Okay, more detail, and that's right. Okay, someone is asking for the name of the book. This book is East Meets West from Liu Yang. At the end of the presentation, I will give you like 6 books to read to understand the, well, not the Chinese mind, the intercultural communication, all right? And also some films to know more about China, and also 2 great institutions to learn more about China. Okay, certain answer in your question, okay? So, another point, many authors saying the Asians or the high context persons, we like to go into from general to specific, and the low context person likes to go to from specific to general. So the Chinese part, can you put an example to understand this? We like to go from macro to micro, a daily example. So can you think something that we do total opposite to the Westerns? 5 years plan, that's great, 5 years plan. The new one will come in March. Addresses, Sylvia, correct. Think you read the same book like me? Or you like the Tiny Eyes comics? How to write addresses? Yes, in no. Okay, thank you, Sylvia. In China, we go from the country, and then the province, and then the street, the house number, and the last the person who will get the letter. And here we go from the person, and then the street, the house number, and then the province, and the last country. So it's different kind of thinking, different way to decode everything. So another exercise that you have 3 pictures here: cow, chicken, and grass. And you have to choose 2 of them. Caroline saying grass and cow is milk. Okay, B, cow and grass. Oh, all right. A, C, X. Okay. B and C. I will see the. Are you going to publish the video only? Okay, it's not for me. A. Thank you very much. So, again, Western likes to categorize, and Eastern Chinese will like to relate. If you choose B, cow and grass, relate. Okay, it's one, this the other one's food. Okay, depends on the culture, of course, Fabio. It depends on the culture. It's the second book I'm going to recommend. It is this one, Geographic of Thought: How Asian and Western Think Differently and Why. And this one is like a assessment or a question that Nisbet made to their students, a lot of students over the world, from Asia or from the United States. And the conclusion was this: Eastern likes to relate, and Western likes to categorize everything. So the next point, you asked for a report to be made in a very limited time, and the answer is, it might be difficult, but we will try. So what do you think? First, you interpret. Okay, it's difficult, but it will be a challenge, and they will do it their best. Everyone thinks like this? They won't. Okay, Elena, you say they won't. So it's the second, it's the reality. Impossible to be done. They are saying they won't do it on the time because it's impossible to do. So you are starting decode. Thank you, Shen, by your name, your Chinese. Thank you for your help. And it's a very diplomatic statement, correct? It's a very indirect answer for that. and you have to decode and understand the way why they say not. Okay. So I found this joke or meme about the little dictionary, what the British say, what the British mean, and what others understand. I think we can make a Chinese version of this. So just take a quick look. I hear what you say. I disagree and do not want to discuss it further. He accepts my point of view. To see the three differences? Okay, it's a joke, but always a little truth behind every just kidding. So that's the point. This maybe seems a joke. Okay. Irina says, living in the UK, very true. Yes, it's politeness and indirectness, correct. And there's always something true in this, and this is very sad because it happens every day when you communicate with other cultures. So another exercise for you. Thank you for answering every question. So please transform the following sentences from direct to indirect. Sorry, 3 of them. First one, I'm very upset with your work. How will you say it if you are saying to a person from a high context culture? There's room for improvement, correct. I think you could do better, okay? Your work needs improvement, okay. So can you be more, indirect, more face saving? So Lex, what you have provided, okay. I believe you can do it better. Nice one. You have tried your best, but it's still not enough, correct? Okay. More improvement. You are fired. I love this. Power distance. If you are the boss, you can say it. Some point could be improved. Okay, you did a good job. Start with a good point. However, we could do it better. Okay. About second one, it can be better. It can be better. Okay. Second one, maybe we can think about other idea, suggestions. Very good. Let's take more time and rethink that. Correct. Okay. What about the last one? You're late again. Next time, please come earlier. Too direct for me. Okay. Okay. Can you do it now in your boss? You are not the boss. Okay. You are like another worker, co-worker. You need work your punctuality. I hope you can accept trip. That's a great one. Something happens to you? Please tell me you are going to be late. Traffic jam again? I like it. Are you okay? Great. It's just think out of the box. Just give them like this kind of answers. Are you okay? The traffic jam? Something happens to you? Ready for lunch? Great. So you are starting like thinking in different way to transform the direct questions to indirect questions. And that is great. We need your support 20 minutes in advance tomorrow. Great answers. So low context cultures, direct, explicit, clear rules, flagness, specific, and you can find this kind of behaviors in Switzerland, Germany, and Scandinavian countries. On the other hand, we have high context cultures, indirect, implicit, ambiguous rules, go between, general, and you can find this kind of behaviors in Asian countries. also in Arabian countries. So this is the perceptions. People from low context culture will see a high context culture confusing, something to hide. Please get to the point when you are speaking. So you are too repetitive. And the other one is thinking, oh, he's too direct. What about my feelings? If this person, low context person, tell me something too direct, I will think it's not your business. Okay, I'm late, you are not my boss, it's not your business. So 5 tips to understand high context cultures. Read and listen between lines. Decode the message you got, okay? Know the unwritten rules that we're talking about later in particularism. People are that indirect and suggest what they want to say. It's like all the examples you've got in the chat with suggestions. If the truth is hurtful, it must be modified, okay? Don't tell me the truth because I don't want to listen it. Harmony is the primary goal of the communication, not the truth. So we'll see later now in particularism, because the truth is not the most important thing for some people, okay? So the second part of this workshop has to do with cultural dimensions, collectivism,